What up, what up, what up? I am here with Justin and Shadow and Son. We're doing our post-Christmas live stream. Hope all of y'all had a great holiday season. There's still more to come. Let's see what's going on, everybody. What is up, Shadow?
Just kicking it. Looking forward to a fun-filled week. We've got guests arriving tonight that'll be here for about a week or more. Little guy's best friend and his sister and his mom will be staying with us. So we got some last-minute preps to do after the show. But other than that, and the giveaway tonight, where we'll be giving away a bunch of gifts for all our friends out there who helped us get where we are, but really looking forward to the new year, man. See what's in store for us. What kind of shenanigans,
Florida's actually having a winter. It's 48 degrees outside, which is 2 degrees higher than yesterday. But there's a wind chill factor where it's like down in the 20s. You're not made for this shit.
Yeah. We actually had 2 warm days yesterday. It was up in the 60s, and well, for winter here, it was pretty nice. You could walk out with just a sweater instead of the full winter gear, because it gets down into the 20s, and of course, I had the fireplace roaring.
Yeah,
got all the firewood ready
for winter time. That is our typical winter. And people put on hoodies and shit like that. This 40 degrees.
For the birds, huh?
For the frickin' birds. Justin, how was your Christmas, buddy? And he ain't even going to talk.
Sorry, I was on mute trying to fix the mic here. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. We went over to my mom's place, had turkey.
Did you eat a lot?
I had a decent piece. She tried to give me half the breast and the leg of an entire turkey.
I would have taken leg. I never eat the white meat. I never eat the breast meat off of turkey. I eat like the leg, the thigh, the wing.
I took the leg, but like a quarter of the freaking turkey.
Yeah,
and it was not a small turkey.
Yeah, when I make a turkey, I usually end up making soup out of the white meat.
Yeah. It's like
turkey salad or something. And what
turkey pot pie would be good too.
Turkey pot pie.
Yeah, anything that has a lot of gravy.
Yeah, well, like that's the one thing. I want an entire pot of gravy to myself.
Oh yeah, I thought of opening up a restaurant,
and not a small one either.
I was going to open up a restaurant when I was younger. Well, I did open up a restaurant when I was younger, but before I opened that one up, I thought about opening up a restaurant and just naming it Cup of Gravy, and everything came with a cup of gravy.
Even the coffee?
Even the coffee. You order a cup of coffee, you get you a cup of gravy.
We bought 4 racks of ribs, thinking that our guests were going to be here for Christmas. And no, they weren't. And so we cooked up 2 racks of ribs, and we still have 2.5 racks of ribs in the fridge, plus 2 racks frozen. So I'm going to be eating baby back ribs until I grow a couple extra ribs. The dog is loving it, of course. But man, I am going to be.
Yeah, like
thing, man.
Ribs are like right there with steak. You can eat them every day.
Baby back ribs every day for a week? Yeah.
Like just replace the eggs with some ribs in your breakfast.
Yeah. Oh,
steak and ribs.
I made like 30 deviled eggs for the 3 of us.
I love it.
And my son that's what he's having for breakfast, whether he knows it or not. We still have like 20. We still have 25 deviled eggs left. I love them too, but
I
man,
went to James's house.
Just slice them up and throw them in with a Kraft dinner.
Yeah, I went over to James's house for Thanksgiving this year, which was awesome. It's first year in a couple of years that I wasn't in a hospital for Thanksgiving. And his wife heard me talking about deviled eggs. And the next thing I know, she's boiling 2 dozen eggs to make deviled eggs because I like them and it's something that I can. DM James won the lottery when he got married. He really did. When he met this woman, he won the freaking lottery. He is the luckiest man on the planet. She is the nicest person. But when she gets mad, oh boy. Like she had one of her friends over, one of her and James's friends. I don't get along with the guy. He's an asshole. And he said something smart aleck to me. So my mom's like, hey, you're being being a jerk. And he's like, well, I guess I'll unapologetically be a jerk then. He was invited over for Thanksgiving that year until she called him the next day and told him he's not allowed over to her house anymore until he learns how to be decent to her house guests. She's like, I don't care if you don't like somebody or not. If they're a guest in my house and you're over at my house, you will be polite to them or you're not welcome at my house. And I was like, oh, she was mad. She cussed about it for like 2 days. It was hilarious. And I'm the only one here now.
No, I'm still listening. I was just trying to fix this damn mic.
I'm just moving from outside to inside.
And I figured you didn't want to hear me moving the mic stand over the speaker.
You move that mic stand. Yeah, TFG 30 deviled eggs at my house would be for 3 people. My kids love deviled eggs. My ex-wife made like 4 dozen deviled eggs, and like they were gone in a day.
Big question. Do you have the stream up in another window, or is there a way to get it through onto this one?
What do you mean?
The StreamYards.
I have StreamYard up in a different window. Why? What's up?
Okay. I was just wondering. Because I opened it up on the same thing, so...
Yeah. I have it up on StreamYard. It's running on YouTube, but the YouTube is muted, so I don't have that really bad,
there's a word for it. Not reverb.
Feedback.
That's the one. Yeah.
And if anybody's wondering, my t-shirts are back on sale for $14. Buy one, support the Wounded Warrior Project.
Buy 2.
We'll be ordering to around the beginning of the year. Excuse the noise. Opening Christmas presents. Got me what the hell is it? Got me a Beholder miniature. Yeah,
nice.
Didn't have one of those.
Nice. I hate Beholders.
Yep, they suck.
That's only because you look like one.
Beauty are in their eyes, man.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Well, at least one of their eyes, maybe.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we might have Dolly Pop on one of our morning streams coming up, Shadow.
That's cool.
Yeah, talk to her about it on Friday night chill stream.
With Max?
Yeah.
That must have been in the comments, right? The
Yes.
chat. Okay, because I was on the show and I just saw her for a moment.
Kato might be joining us today if his silly ass wakes up. Omen Al might be joining us today.
Cool.
Or they might all sleep in because it's the day after Christmas and I didn't wake up until 11:40.
Yeah, I'm up at I'm up early on the weekdays.
Yeah.
Weekend, not so much.
The last week or so, I've been getting up at midnight and just haven't been able to go to sleep.
You don't sleep, Justin.
Well, this is true. 3 hours a week is good for me.
Yeah, insomnia is a bitch at your house. And I told you to quit calling your girlfriend insomnia.
Well, I have really bad insomnia. It's so bad I have another bed in my workshop just so I'm not in and out of the main room all night long. You know, I go down the same time Nicole does, but if I'm up maybe 20, 30 minutes later, then I want to go back to sleep, you know, I'm not going to wake her up for that.
Yeah. Well, Max and Noro sleep in different rooms because of his hearing thing.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
Yeah.
Hearing.
Well, I bet you Noro don't mind that much. Noro's like, I got my own room. Her shirt came in. Bruce Lombardo's shirts came in. He ordered one of the Afro shirts and one of the Hungar shirts. He was wearing the Hungar shirt, and his wife was wearing the Afro shirt. He said it was the funnest time in their house they've had in a long time.
Have you sold any of the?
No,
I didn't think so.
well, I wore one of my Hungar shirts to dinner yesterday, and I was coming back from the bathroom, and two people actually stopped me and said, "Is that you on that shirt?" And I was like, "Yes, it is." And they're like, "That is the coolest shirt ever."
The Afro shirt. Do you have a higher resolution version of that photo?
That photo's from 1991.
Okay, so no, because I can't. I tried running that through all the filters that I have access to, and I can't do shit with it.
Well, I cleaned it up a lot.
Yeah, but
already.
You also got to realize, like that Photoshop I did for you. That's the first Photoshop I ever did.
Well, you did a good job. We're a horrible picture.
We're working on an image for a couple of shirts of our own. Just haven't quite decided exactly what we want on it. We kind of have a rough idea, but
well, if you want your head put on the body of a petite girl with several black men behind you, I can do that.
There it is, right there on the screen.
Yeah, our show's a little more wholesome than that. Although the idea is me and the boy back to back, armed to the teeth. You know, him with his melee weapons and me with my pew pews. Probably my TS-12 Desert Eagle and whatever else I can actually fit on my body, and you know, get it all into the image. You know, back to back. You know, like we're, getting ready to fight, a horde of, zombies or some crap like that. The boys got so big. I got this picture of us with the same pose, him in his white First Communion outfit and me in all black. And, I'm like way up here and he's way down here, because he's, only like 3.5 feet tall. And now he's, he's only a couple inches shorter than me. And that was, not too long ago, it seems, but boy, he's growing up.
That happens with kids.
Yeah.
Lies,
Yeah.
You're getting shorter.
No. But if he wears his combat boots and his uniform, he's looking, like a mighty strapping young man there. He's gonna have to be, fighting off the women with the stick. Any day now. He's going to go back to school after Christmas, and they're just going to be all over him.
Justice, I haven't been on Conan a whole lot. I've been very busy.
Neither have I. I've been swamped here as well.
Christmas shopping and all that stuff for the kids. They're extremely happy with all their presents.
You guys get anything cool?
Everything that I always tell everybody, whatever money they want to spend on me for Christmas, spend it on my kids. So I got dinner yesterday, which is good for me. And I got to see my kids open up a lot of fun stuff.
I got a t-shirt with the Grinch on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a couple of cool things. Mac sent me that Worms game, which I spent every waking moment trying to read. My son got me some Shadows of Brimstone coffin breakers. They're basically undead, skeletons that are using their coffin lids and as shields and shovels as weapons. They're kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
sounds
you know,
sweet.
yeah. Here's like a. I don't know if you can see that picture, but
Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
I know, right? I mean, nobody's thought of that in freaking 50 years. You know, shields and freaking shovels. Creepy.
Well, they usually have a rusty spear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they're supposed to be dead off the battlefield.
Right. Well, this is kind of a Wild West game, Shadows of Brimstone. You know, with a Call of Cthulhu.
Shadows of
other-
Brimstone.
Yeah, it's mostly it's kind of like a dungeon crawl board game. It's set in the Old West, where when you go into the mines, there's portals to other worlds, so you can go to, like, you know, other planets or hell or the frozen north, or
Taco Bell.
one of the expansions is where your cowboys walk in and they're in a freaking spaceship that's hurtling through space, and they got to find their way back out through another portal. It's just all these boxes up here are Shadows of Brimstone expansions, and you know, it's the game it was the
Twilight
gateway
Imperium?
game. Yeah, the Twilight Imperium and Samurai Swords, but all the rest of the shelf is Shadows of Brimstone or the Siege of the Citadel Mutant Chronicles board game. But you know, it was the gateway game. He saw me playing solo as Little Tyke. You know, and he's wondering, well, you know, what are you doing, Daddy? And I'm like, let's play. And it was on, and that's the game we probably play the most together. And it's a lot of fun. You know, it's not too serious in the way of rules and stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun. We've been playing that together for 3+ years now, almost 4. And
Sounds
you know,
awesome.
Yeah, it does.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, especially if you like the idea of mixing genres. There's also a feudal Japan starter box where you start out as a samurai, a ninja, a sorcerer, and a monk, and you fight all the Japanese, you know, fantasy monsters, and then next thing you know, you go through a portal and you're in the Wild West, or you're, you know, in a swamp or something, and it's, you know, it's just it's really nice. It's just the Kickstarter. I've been waiting for the new Kickstarter that has the Vikings and the Spanish Civil War pieces and stuff. I've been waiting on that Kickstarter for going on 4 freaking years now.
I went on Omegle yesterday dressed up like Santa Claus, which I just put on my Santa Claus jacket and my knees. And
pretty cool.
I was playing the Kinks, Father Christmas. Father Christmas.
The Kinks,
give me
man.
money.
Good deal.
And just dancing around, and
I love the
just
Kinks,
come on
man.
and freak out. And I had about 50 people ask if they could take my picture yesterday.
That's great, dude. That's great.
You know, trying to spread some holiday cheer. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of
Amen, brother. Amen. A lot of people out there, you know, just don't get it, or it's not their thing, or whatever. That's fine. But then there's people out there that, you know, kind of take a crap on it, and I just can't. I can't be around that. I won't do it.
And some
you
people
know,
are just depressed during the holiday season.
You know, that I get, and you know, if I could help out, I will. You know, I
Yeah.
you know, but when you
I think that's mostly a byproduct of the over commercialization of
Yeah.
the holiday.
But if the shoe fits, if the Santa Claus shoe fits, I might.
you
as
better
well
wear it, man. You better wear it with pride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. I've got a couple of friends that are, you know, for whatever reasons, you know, it's not their favorite time of year. And if I can, you know, cheer them up and stuff like that, I'm happy to help. But the people who got no excuse and still want to just dump on it, just can't.
Well,
can't.
I say there's a lot of the root causes in the world today is that we're trained to just like shit on everything our society's built on.
Mhm.
That is true.
Yeah.
and that is
Yeah, well,
sad.
those people need a stern talking to say the least.
Yeah.
People like us, we don't go doing that to other people's, enjoyment. At least I hope not. I don't.
But
If
you
you've
would
got
Yeah.
not,
something that you hold near and dear, you know,
you,
rock
you
on
wouldn't
with
believe,
yourself.
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe how many Indian people popped up on Omegle, saw me, and started singing Jingle Bells. They thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Like
it's like
Indian.
like India.
Yeah.
And the dingo bell, dingo bell. I'm just
The
sitting
show
there laughing my ass off.
Yeah, well,
But
that's one of the great things about Christmas is it's all inclusive.
yeah,
It's not it's the come on in. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good time. Uh, just leave your troubles at the door and come on in and let's enjoy the time we've got here and try to make it better for everybody else.
yeah. And see, TFG says that
Yeah.
he's not much of a Christmas person, but he's not going to crap on somebody else's Christmas because that's just rude.
Well,
And that,
sometimes it goes even further than that, you
Yeah.
know. And there's no reason for that. That's just asking for trouble. They think they can get away with it because most people, don't want to, start a bunch of crap around this time of year, and it's pretty cowardly. It's like, oh, okay, so when it's your birthday, I get to, just ruin it for you.
yeah,
Is
exactly.
that the game we're playing? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just need to be more polite, just all around in general.
Or if not, then like my mama taught me, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Just move on down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
For the most part, yeah.
I invited DM James, but I think he's probably still sleeping. Slacker.
Nah, he's hiding. He's afraid to come around these parts.
Yeah.
Hey, I was glad I could help him out. He took that idea I gave him last week on this show, and he ran with it. Made a really nice video. That was cool. I liked
What
it.
idea was that?
Making combat shorter so we can get on to the cool stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about throwing him an idea of taking those books he has and comparing similar systems to how they interact between because he's got all those books he's always talking about the different systems and like take like how's fighting done in this game, how's fighting done in that game, or how's like spears work over here, or how's resolving X done here.
Yeah,
and comparing.
I'm worried he's getting a little burnt. Maybe the holidays will recharge him. I've never, well, I can't say never. We almost never have any trouble coming up with content. The trouble is just lately the little guy's schedule. Doing so many volunteer activities, JROTC, fencing class, chess club. And then getting home from school and having like 3 hours before he has to go to bed. We don't really have a shortage of ideas, but I got the impression that he's like, just not feeling it. And I really hope that that's not the case, and that he, gets a nice, recharge from the holidays and comes back strong next year. If you need a week off, no one's going to just suddenly unsub because you didn't put out a video every single freaking day.
Yeah.
He was pushing himself pretty hard last couple of months, well, not the last month, but a couple months back, he was like 3-4 videos a day. And, you don't have to do that.
No. But that idea came to me because his last stream, he was talking about not wanting to cover the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
I just haven't gotten around to throwing him that line yet. Maybe that's like, because he's asked for ideas for stuff before.
Anytime I'm in doubt, I just look at my bookshelves and find something that I love, but I don't know that a lot of other people do, and then just talk about that. Grab one of your favorite books, that everybody else hasn't done to death, and talk about it. There seems to be right now a huge push with everybody trying to Hey, try this new game, try that new game. You know what? How about just reading a book or a movie or an album, like we did in the old days, just get into like a single album, just Holy Diver or something like that I know he absolutely freaking loves, just
Oh,
talk,
that was
go
pretty good.
song by song, go song by song, why it's awesome, obviously can't play it without getting into, heap of trouble, but I've reviewed some of my favorite books and 5-10 minutes talking about my favorite book, and if one person goes out and reads it, you've done your job. You've got somebody to pick up something that isn't a phone or a tablet or a mouse, and
Wait. There are books that aren't part of your phone or tablet?
yeah, yeah,
News to me.
yeah. I've got thousands of books, and I want 1,000 more. And for me, there's almost nothing like just sitting, curled up with a good book and just getting stuck in. Just morning, guys, and just letting your imagination actually work and use your imagination to picture what you're reading instead of having someone do it for you. I think that's a big awful trend these days where people just let somebody else do all the
heavy
the
lifting.
fun stuff,
Yeah.
do the fun stuff for you.
Uriah Heep and Funny Cigarettes gave me a lot of inspirations in the early '80s. Says
I cannot go against that. The everybody knows my favorite band is Blue Oyster Cult. They're, as far as I know, they're the only band out there that actually went to game conventions to play games. You know what I mean? They were huge game. At least one of them I know for a fact was a huge Dungeons and Dragons and Traveler. And,
they also like to smoke a lot of pot.
Yeah, among other things. Yeah. I
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
I have to agree with that sentiment. I've got a youngster who, if I ever catch with a funny cigarette or something else like that, we'll get into that.
Especially THC. It's accumulative in your system, and it is almost 90 times more powerful than it was in the 60s.
Yeah,
in the 60s, THC was 2 to 3% potency level. By the 90s, it was up to 70. Now it's in the 90s.
Yeah,
right? Potency level. And that's not even including the concentrated oils and stuff.
I smoked some funny cigarettes when I was younger, of course, back in the 80s, early 90s. And, you look at the stuff now, and it's like, this stuff is just insane.
Yeah. And what bugs me the most right now about it is the people who are doing it like in the parking lot of the grocery stores when I go shopping with my family, and it's reeking up. I've literally seen people walk out of the grocery store with their shopping cart, and not even 1 second after they get out of the store, they're lighting up right in the front doorway of the grocery store. Or a couple weeks ago, we were at the swap meet, and there's a guy walking down the aisles just, letting it rip. And I'm like, dude, there's people around here that, can't have that in their system, for, like business reasons. You know what I mean?
Well, it's federally legal here, right? And I was just driving somewhere, right? And I was looking down the street, and there was more freaking head shops than there were coffee shops.
Yeah, that's the same way in Orange County. I won't even go into Orange County anymore. I grew up there, and it's everywhere. I don't mind if people want to do it at home and stuff, but keep it there. Don't be doing it in your car, because then you're not paying attention to what you're doing, which should be driving.
Yeah,
and don't be doing it where other people, who might, I don't know, test positive at work and go, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know how that worked anymore, if that's a thing. But, can you imagine getting fired because some jackass, freaking,
yeah. At least here, they're supposed to be treating smoking the dank weeds worse than drinking and driving while operating a vehicle, but who knows if they actually are.
Now it's not going to be long before it's literally everywhere, which is funny because cigarettes now aren't, and I smoke cigarettes. I roll my own,
Yeah.
but that's more okay than cigarettes now.
I was
Yeah.
talking to somebody in Colorado a few years ago. I was up there delivering some washers, I think it was, and I asked them about the weed laws. And it's like, well, you get hurt at work or something, they do a drug test on you.
Mhm.
And so
Sure.
they take the drug test. Excuse me. And the guy told me that in Colorado, they are not allowed to test you for weed when they do the drug test.
Well, like there was the study out of the Netherlands, Sweden, somewhere around there, right? And they were saying that the THC levels at their current rate are a high indicator of schizophrenic reactions.
Yeah.
So, not testing for it's like, how
but
do you know
because
the
it's-
guy hasn't been flipping out and thinking that his crane controllers was a pit of snakes trying to eat him because he's
Yeah, but in Colorado, because it is legal in Colorado, they are not allowed to test you for weed. in your
gin's
system.
legal in Colorado. Do they test you for alcohol?
I think the issue is alcohol is out of your system pretty quick, but weed has stayed in your system for like 6 weeks or some stuff. I don't know.
Yes, but they
No.
can test how long ago it was you consumed with a follicle test.
Yeah.
So unless the guy's pubes are bald, like
Yeah, I was on painkillers, and I went for a new job at a different trucking company. It was on It was like a month before that on the painkillers. They do a hair follicle test. They come back with opiates in my system, which I had a prescription for them at the time that I'd taken them, and I actually had to go to the drugstore where I got the pain meds and get a printout of the prescription that prescribed them to me and give them to the place that I was getting my job.
yeah. Well, now how do we integrate this into a role playing game?
Don't have your players smoking weed.
Rule number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, don't come to the table high.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, back in the day, it was just the opposite. You know what I mean? I knew many a group that was like the thing that the two went hand in hand. Period. None of this. Like now, if you need to go outside, it was like that '70s show, but with D&D. If you know what I mean?
But-
And I get it, especially back in the early days. Right after the whole '60s hippie thing. It was 1978, 79. And I was playing back then, but God, help us if we were like that at the age of 12 and stuff. 14, that's a different story. But I could see how the two went, together. But now, I mean, like you guys are saying with the percentages and stuff.
Yeah, I was just
Now
about to
you're
say the
just
potency.
Yeah, now you're just asking for freaking, kind of a retarded game.
Well, it's like you're comparing one guy that's had 2 or 3 beers and another guy that's drunk an entire bottle of Jim Beam
Mhm.
in the same
And I
amount of time.
And I don't want that at my
What one
table
can you
either.
play with, right? Well,
Yep.
you could at least play with a guy that's had like a can of beer,
Yeah.
right? You really can't play with a
Well,
guy
there's-
that's barely not able to prevent him from prevent himself from throwing up. Like I could barely get that out, but you know what I mean.
There's a difference than having a beer.
Yeah,
and
or
having
maybe
6 pack
2.
of beers.
Yeah, or
Like-
drinking an entire freaking liter of hard alcohol.
Yeah, it's like, okay, somebody's wanting to drink a beer because it's hot, they're thirsty, they want a cold beer. Understandable. But when it goes into like 5 beers, 6 beers, 7 beers, then it's like,
Well,
come on, dude, you've
I
had enough.
understand like 5 beers over like a 4-hour session, right?
Oh,
But
shit, if I drink 1 beer over a 4-hour session,
like I could understand it over a 4 or 5 hour session, right? But in a half hour,
yeah, then it gets a little excessive.
then it gets a little excessive.
Yeah, not only that, the quality of play is going to suffer, and
Well, that's
you
the
know,
reason why it's excessive, right? Like,
yeah, we're there to be able to, make these memories, to have this fun at that moment, and enjoy the game. And if you're more worried about the other things, then maybe you should just do the other things, or maybe, I mean, if you can't do one without the other, what about everybody else? I mean, are you gonna, be the only drunk guy at the table, and everybody's just gonna be like, yeah, Charlie, maybe you should just stay home next time, because we want to
Nobody wants
actually
to deal
play
with
and not
that.
deal with your drunk ass.
yeah, or high ass as it is these days.
Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody really does. I mean, it starts getting ridiculous after a minute.
So I officially declare the draw game to be done only under intoxication when it starts.
Here you go. You are dork, Justin.
Yeah, how am I gonna do that? I haven't had a drink or done anything stupid in a very, very long time, and I don't really have any intention of starting any of that crap up. I'd rather, buy stuff that I get to hang on to,
Yeah.
forever than
Well,
to
Oh yay! We got
I hang
Yeah,
on to my
my very
alcohol. I
first
have had the
hammer.
same bottle of Jägermeister since 2017.
check it out, guys. My very first spammer.
Oh, you got spam? Woohoo! Spam.
That means I'm finally somebody.
Yeah, I've been getting stuff like that for a while, even back in the early days. It's seriously. Do you not even? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well,
I realize it's all bots and stuff. Just roaming the internet looking for a way in somewhere, but come on, do you really
Hey,
think it's gonna work on just any old channel? I mean, oh wow, maybe if we get one person to do what? Simp for some freaking,
the poor person, I guess, doesn't realize that she's talking to a bunch of nerds.
but maybe she is and thinks that oh hey, there's got to be a lonely, desperate guy in here somewhere.
Yeah, what's
Sorry.
very sad is it's probably a dude.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. In 6 months to a year, it won't even be a human.
Yeah.
So I've been writing a video game since I don't know, the 23rd. I opened up a Unity project.
Joey, no. Sorry, my dog was chewing on something.
I assumed you were talking to me, telling me not to make a video game.
No. It's this guy right here. It's this guy right here.
But I've only been using the new AI model to write all the code, and it's been working. Oh.
Give me
I
that.
just got a message from a friend of mine that said, my man got me lip balm and a blanket for Christmas. I got him a PS5. I feel cheated.
Yeah, but was it her money or his money? Let's be honest, right?
Well, I got my mom $1,000 deli slicer,
Yeah.
and she got me that Grinch T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I was
No,
like,
my mom did buy me.
this
4
is
pair
better than
overalls.
socks.
My mom got me 4 pair of overalls, which is cool,
Yeah.
so I can look like a hillbilly.
So you got a new
Yeah.
uniform.
That's right.
Official
That's
clothing.
right. The official clothing of all rednecks everywhere.
So is it like an inherent thing, or do they make you sign a blood contract at puberty to wear those things?
No, you sign up way before puberty. When you're
Okay.
born, they take that little prick out of the bottom of your foot and just like put it on the birth certificate. So it's like, yep, you're a hillbilly. Deal with it.
There's a clause right next to it that says you have to wear overalls at least 3 days a week.
I like them because they're comfortable, man.
Yeah, they're pants with built-in suspenders.
Exactly. And they're easy to hide stuff.
Oh yeah, they got like what 14 pockets and
Dude,
all over the place.
I can carry a full-size Beretta 92 FS in the front pocket of those overalls, and nobody can see it.
Yeah, the leather vest I wear sometimes, it's actually got 2 built-in compartments for my pew-pews, and I actually have to go out and buy another one so I can carry 2 at the same time.
Nice.
I'm got our hillbilly shirt set. Yeah, I agree. Definitely, I'd wear one of those. I'm actually looking at picking up something this year. I'm not sure what. I need a 9 because I went out and bought like 1,000 rounds of 9, and I don't own a 9.
What?
Yeah. But you know what?
You got that backwards. You're
Ammo-
supposed to buy the gun first.
No. I method to my madness. I was at the gun show, and I figure at the very least, if I buy this bundle of 9s, one, I've got trading goods in case things get rough. If I want to get into a high stakes poker game, I won't be losing anything that I actually need. And it's also motivation to go out and pick up a 9. I've got 44s, I've got 40s and 12s and 7.62s and blah 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 blah. But I don't have a 9, so I'm looking for recommendations on a good 9. Probably not another Glock. I've got one, but there's something about them that I don't like, and that's the trigger. How there's no safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
This
What
is
is
my
this?
safety.
What is the safety you speak of?
Yeah, well, I got a kid, and
Later, Val. Have a good one, buddy.
take care, Kyle. We'll see you tonight, I hope.
He's in an institution for gun training. I think he's a little old enough for safety now.
Well, he is 14, and I'd rather be a little bit safe than a whole lot of sorry.
You
Everything's
don't wanna
locked
get-
up and legal.
You don't want to
But,
get
yeah.
red flagged in California.
Yeah. I do everything, legit on, by the book, etc.
Your gun
it's
safe
not a big
is
deal.
your gun safe is at the bottom of a river.
No, it's right next to my bed.
Oh, well, you said safe and by the book in California.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, there's to get into my house. I mean, you'd have to make a lot of freaking noise, and I got more than enough time to open up 2 boxes and put everything together and then put a hole in you. Should you be stupid enough to come into my neighborhood looking for trouble? Fortunately, I live in a neighborhood that's mostly people my age or older, and they're all, looking out for one another. I got real lucky here in the People's Republic, and
The People's
No
Republic
worries.
of California.
yep. They can. They can.
I remember when words like People's Republic meant a good thing.
Not anymore, man. Not here. It's funny too because where we live, there's a couple of cities, all around each other. We're about an hour, 100 miles away from LA, and we don't get a lot of that stupid crap. More to the opposite, it's like you could easily if you were to film a movie here, you could say you were in Texas or Arizona or something like that, and only certain people would know the difference, with the way the people dress and the way the people act. It's even the Walmart where you'd expect the crazies. It's not like they would have you believe if you don't live here. It's
No,
not all.
I know that. I know that. That's why there was that separation thing a couple of years ago to carve out the crazies from the.
Did you guys see that one time when Kamala Harris said that we have a strong freaking relationship and allied with North Korea?
Should. It's the only decent country on the planet.
Yeah, she meant to say South Korea, but she was talking about how North Korea was our allies. And I mean, she was saying it with all seriousness, man.
Well, because she's a brain dead freaking idiot,
It's pronounced Camacho Harris.
Camacho Harris.
Yeah, that woman is it's just amazing. I mean, if someone said the thing,
you've never seen Idiocracy?
Oh yeah, I have. If someone said the thing she said to who during the what about me, the last thing I would do is hire them as my second in command. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
that's how retarded these people are. Yeah, I'm going to get my worst enemy to be my number 2. Yeah, that can't go bad.
You think Biden is in charge and not an elitist cabal of
blank. Oh, I know otherwise, but yeah, it's just things right now are so dumb.
Your country has a figurehead that you pretend to elect and not, but hey, mine does too. So
yeah, you guys got Daddy Trudeau up there, man.
Hey, leave our clown alone. At least he's not senile and half dead or completely dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but they're both monsters. Let's not,
they're all idiots.
Argue semantics. They're both monsters,
We got Ronald McDonald.
One's Dracula and one's the Crypt Keeper.
We've got Ronald McDonald. You've got Uncle Bernie.
Yeah, we got Weekend at Bernie's going on.
Yeah. And we got a guy that's a mascot of a fast food restaurant. Oh,
I'm glad the World Cup is over.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't hear more about all the freaking Epstein Island connections with those higher ups. I really thought we were gonna, that was really gonna come out in a big way, and I guess the freedom fighters just decided to take a pass on that because
no, they were too busy fighting for women's hijabs in Iran or something.
Yeah, I saw online somebody was selling like 40 pallets of Budweiser, but you had to pick it up, and it's illegal to buy it because it was on Qatar. It's like Budweiser lost a lot of beer. But notice how there weren't any soccer riots.
Yeah.
You know what really amazed me is we didn't have 19.2 roll in. I really thought that was going to be a thing, and now it's turning out that the people who got the pokey poke are 4 times more likely to die from the thing than the people who didn't get the pokey poke.
Yep.
I find that hysterical, terrifying, but hysterical at the same time.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's just like, we knew, those of us who pay attention to things, we knew not to, and God help the people that had no choice, for their families and stuff like that. I get it, but
I was all up to get it, like, because at the beginning, if you remember, when it first started,
Mhm.
the opposite people were telling you to get the jab, right?
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, it was well, you would say Republicans were telling you to get the jab, and liberals were saying no, avoid it. And then about a month in, because that was when they were still calling it Corona. A
Mhm.
month in, maybe two, they started calling it the new term that
Yep.
we're not saying, and the political opinions switched like a freaking light switch. And I'm like, okay, so now you're telling me the people that want me dead are telling me to get this thing. I'm glad I didn't get it already. I'll wait in
You,
a couple of years.
you know what's funny is it turns out here in the States, less than 11%, actually went through and did what they wanted them to do. And, they were
11%.
saying, 50 and 70 and 90% were done and did what they were told. And it turns out that it was only 11%. But,
I still call it the Kung Flu.
oh yeah, I saved Crowder's song when he rolled that song out. Oh, I was dying. Now, mind you, when it first happened, my wife's got COVID, not COVID, lupus. She had
Lupus?
COVID, but she's got lupus. So we were doing all the things: the gloves, the masks.
So she's a werewolf?
sanitizer up the freaking what?
She's a werewolf?
No. You've never heard of lupus?
No. It used to be called the werewolf disease.
Oh, okay. And so we were washing our groceries and doing the things, right? We come home, wash the groceries, go into the hazmat tank, the whole bit, right? And after about a month or so of that, I started doing the stuff, looking into it. I still wasn't going to get a shot, and
Yeah.
it turns out that I made the right decision, not getting the pokey poke.
Yeah.
But you know what they did? You know what they did? They did the dumbest thing ever. You would think that these big brains, trying to, alter the population and stuff like that, to reduce the population through vaccination. You know what I'm saying? They did the dumbest thing ever. They didn't understand human psychology, and if they were to have said, we don't have enough, everybody would have wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old reverse
I love
psychology, and they didn't think about that for a minute. Well, they did when they were saying, you know what, we're only going to let certain colored flavored people get it first. You know what I mean? To try to work that angle, and that backfired. Those people went, fuck you. The government's here to help. Thank you. I'll pass.
Yeah.
I woke up from my coma during the middle of a pandemic. Okay. and it was like I'd get out of the hospital, I'd have my dad drive me to the store. He's like, you gotta put on gloves and you gotta put on a mask and this and gotta use hand sanitizer. I'm like, I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not putting on gloves to go to the grocery store and buy me some Pringles. Not doing it. All right. If I end up dying from a freaking cold, then I die from a freaking cold.
Yeah, like I've said since the beginning, if God wants me, he knows exactly where to find me.
Yep.
If it's my time, I'm ready. You don't need to, bring out the big guns or anything. I could just, have a freaking stroke or a freaking heart attack or something stupid like that, and boom, I'm gone. I'm whatever. But the sniffles, yeah, pass. I had the flu a couple years back, and I mean the kind of flu where you get the chills and stuff. Something we haven't seen. Yeah, things we don't actually see anymore. I'd rather have the thing than to have that kind of flu ever freaking again. I literally had to light the fireplace, and I was like sleeping on the tile in front of the fireplace to try to freaking make that shit go away.
We're approaching the hour, so I'm going to say tonight, what time, Shadow?
6 p.m. And if you haven't qualified by now, sorry to hear that, but we've got a giveaway tonight. for our 500 subs, and we're giving away about 15, plus, more or less 15 different brand new products from Emperor's Choice, the people who put out Arduin, and a whole bunch of Archon Studios Dungeons and Lasers and Rampart plastic kits that have never been opened, to all our lovely friends out there who've been hanging out with us, since the beginning. So 6 p.m. tonight, avocado time, we will be rolling some dice and handing out some gifts. Hopefully you guys will be there to watch, even if you don't qualify. You got to watch the video to win. And I know Hungar will be there.
Yeah, I have permanent number 69.
Anything in particular you'd like to win there, Hungar?
No.
No, you don't care? What size T-shirt do you wear? What size T-shirt do you wear?
2X.
Oh, I knew it. I guess I'll be sending you the T-shirt. No, I'm kidding. They sent me a T-shirt. I wear a large. Yeah, the company, and they sent me a 2XL, and my son a medium. And last couple years ago I could wear a medium before I gained a little bit of extra from the thing. But now I got to wear a large, and I'm old, so screw it. But they sent me a 2XL, and I'm like, guys, it's like,
I can fit in an XL, but I like the 2X because I don't print.
Not a problem. I don't even know if I was going to actually roll for that one. I think I was just going to pop that in with somebody's winning, but I guess you're probably going to get that as a freebie, Hungar. I don't see why that would be a problem. Yeah, it says Arduin, bloody Arduin. You ever read any Arduin?
No.
Me? No.
Oh, okay, guys. Well, it's coming out next year. It's just an old RPG system that was one of the very first. It started out as a supplement to Dungeons and Dragons, when they were in the digest books, and they got in a little trouble. So they made their own game, and the creator, David A. Hargrave, he passed away way too early, but he left behind dozens of books and modules and things like that most people have never heard of. But if you like Gonzo and you like criticals, because they created the critical hit and fumble charts way back in the 70s, if you like, hardcore, brutal combat and monsters like Air Sharks, one of my favorites. Imagine opening up a door in a dungeon and there's freaking sharks floating in the freaking room coming at you because they can fly.
No thank you.
Yeah.
I would know about.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, it totally is. They're literally the creators of Gonzo when it comes to fantasy. So
I love critical hits and I love fumbles.
I love Air Sharks, but I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
You guys have a great
Happy
day.
Take care, Justin. Hope to see you soon, buddy.
Same to you, Shadow.
Yeah. See you guys Wednesday at 12 o'clock Standard Eastern Time, the normal right time, for Wednesday morning with Hungar and Shadow and whoever else wants to be on.
Take care, everybody.
Party on, guys.
God bless.